Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, April 22nd. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I do every day. I wish it was all day, but every day. Most of my time when I'm not doing important things like the kitty litter or folding laundry or stuff like that. If you like to follow me on any of my social medias, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there, or the others if you would like, but Instagram is where I hang out the most. If you're interested in any of the things that I will be talking about in this episode, hopefully I will remember to link everything in the show notes, which will be on my blog. The link to my blog, if you are on YouTube, will be down below, or if you're on my blog, you are already there. Way to go. I work at a yarn store. It is called the Modern Skein. It is in Montgomery, Texas, and in the show notes and every place that is important, I will include the social media, the website, the online store, our hours, the address. So if you want to come and hang out with us, we would love to have you. Please do. If you're local or passing through or whatever, that'll be super fun. I have a lot of knitting to talk about, everyone. Like, a lot of knitting. And it's great, and I'm very happy about it, and I'm just trying to think about the lineup here because there's just so much to talk about. It's not a bad thing, though. So let's keep this intro short because I have a tendency to go long on those. So if you like to go grab something tasty to drink today, I have leftover coffee that has become an iced coffee. Aren't I so smart? It's very good. My husband made it for me, and he is quite the coffee buff and makes very good coffee. So if you have something tasty to drink, or something to snack upon, or an animal to snuggle, or laundry to fold, or some knitting to craft upon, or anything like that, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So good. Everyone, very quickly, the tag in my shirt is itching my side, so we'll pull up my leggings so it's not itching me. Little bits behind the scenes information that you don't need to know. Very quickly, I'm wearing a very old finished object, clearly. And I never really wore it when I finished it, and then got a bunch of holes in it because moths are evil little creatures who love knitting, and it's very windy, and I can hear it blowing on this window, and it's very distracting. It is very windy right now. Anyway, that doesn't have to do with the sweater. So I knit this sweater when I was still working at Yarntopia, which was my original LYS, and where I learned how to knit with my mom, made so many wonderful friends, and worked there for a while. Before college, during college, that was my internship that I needed for my degree, which worked out perfectly that it worked. Just saying words now. So I knit this sweater. It's the Featherweight cardigan by Hannah Fettig, and I'm gonna stand up. Look at this wonderful, wonderful stripies. So nice. It's knit out of Quince & Company in one of their bases. I don't remember which one. It's their fingering weight one. And I happen to have 2 little balls left over of each color so I could fix all the holes, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. And it's just... And for a while, it didn't fit very well, and so I was just like, I don't want to throw it away or give it away or whatever. I would just be sad, and maybe someday, and here I am. Wearing it, holes are fixed, it's all great. I'm going to give it a bath sometime soon, but I'm very, very happy with it. I think it'll be a very nice, stable. I don't know why I didn't wear it more when I finished it the first time, or I knit it the first time, or when I finished it. I don't know. You know what I mean. Back then. Way back then. But here I am. wearing this wonderful sweater, and I'm very proud of it. So, yes. Also, my hair is in a little, very, very small French braid, which is why this thing is sticking out. So if you do see this, it's not because my hair's in a ponytail, it's in a French braid because, yay, workout hair. Woohoo. So let's start. Oh, there's one more that I forgot to bring. I'll be right back. Okay, so I believe last week we're just jumping right into knitting now. I believe last week I had just recently finished this one test knit. That's the Leclerc pullover by Caitlin or Wool Jewel. She has her own podcast, and that is her username on Instagram and Ravelry, I believe. I had not blocked the sleeves. The sleeves have since been blocked. It fits wonderfully. I still have to weave in all the ends. Surprise! Or no surprises there. I made whatever you would like to think. I don't think that's a surprise. But it's a sarcastic surprise, let's say that. So that's really wonderful. This is done, except for the ends, and I need to take pictures. It comes out on May 1st. So it's knit in DK weight yarn or sport weight yarn, depending on the gauge that you get. I used Cascade 220 Sport. That was deep, 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 deep stash. And that was really great to use that. I'm very excited about it. I have a black maxi dress that's made out of jersey, and it's got like these spaghetti straps, and I think this will be super beautiful over the top of it. I'm very excited to wear that. Yes, just so you know. Yes, the pattern comes out May 1st. You need DK weight yarn, so if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for her post. I will also be posting, I believe, when it comes out, of my finished object pictures. So, fun times. If you love lace, this is the pattern for you. It is also completely charted. There are no written instructions, so you have to be relatively comfortable or excited to learn how to read charts. Either one, both work. To make this, but it was a very fun, enjoyable knit. I will definitely knit it again, I think. I'm trying to think of the yarns that I might have. I don't know. This is not I've already made one. So currently this is low on the priority list, but I could very easily see myself making another one of these. I really like how it fits. I like where it hits me on my waist. It's all good. All good. So this is done, except for the ends. But we're going to count it as done, so woohoo! Up next, we have my second test knit. That is going very well. Last night, for some reason, I think it was because it was the end of the long weekend, and I was just like, I'm gonna get a lot of knitting done. So, which, side note, I realize that a lot of people already know about this show, and I realize that a lot of people have already seen this show, and some people may just think it's a show, some people may love it, some people may hate it, and that's okay. And you're probably wondering what the show is. Recently, Sam, my husband, and I started watching Frasier, which we find absolutely hysterical. We love it so much. I don't know why we love it. We've discussed this. We've tried to figure out what exactly we like about it, but there's just so many things that make it so endearing and hilarious and just entertaining in general. So we've been watching a lot of that. I did not grow up watching that because it came out in '93. It started in '93, which is the year I was born. So I did not really watch it a whole lot at all, and that's okay because I was a little wee bairn. But anyway, so something about just like sitting and watching a bunch of Netflix last night and knitting, and then we did read some, which I'm going to talk about later. I got a lot done. And one of those things was the body of my ochre cardigan. And not only the bottom, casting it off with that I-cord bind off. I also did the neckline, which is rolling terribly, so you can't currently see it, but I do promise that it's there. I did pick up stitches all the way around. There it is. Can you see? Yeah, you can see this little edging that I did right here. I did that. Hello to you too. I did do that. It was very great. I'm very excited about it. I just have the sleeves left. This is a test knit for Amba O'Brien. It's called the Ochre Cardigan. You can, I believe she wrote it for a linen yarn, but a lot of people are not using linen, which is totally fine. It is turning out beautiful, so I think a single ply would also make a beautifully drapey, summery cardigan. I am using yarn that we carry at the Modern Skein. It is the BC Garns Lino, and I don't actually have the ball band in here with me, but I have started the last ball. I'm not sure where I'm going to land yard-wise, so I'm a little worried about the sleeves. But I might make some adjustments lengthwise, because there's a lot of us testing this pattern, and I don't think it'll be a problem, because there's so many of us. It's a great pattern. It's very easy. It's your basic top-down raglan cardigan. The lace pattern on the bottom, which will also be on the bottom of the sleeves, is both charted and written. So if you prefer one over the other, you have those options, which is great. I've been knitting on this with my trusty and true. What? My very trusty, I don't know where I was going with that. Now trusty sounds weird. ChowGoo size 6 fixed 32-inch needle. Those were my first set of ChowGoos that I bought, and they have served me very well over the years. The cat is now coming to join me because he has not had enough attention because he's decided to sleep all day. That's irrelevant. So now those needles are free, which is good because I've been resisting so hard from getting more size 6s, more fixed interchangeables, whatever. Are you looking? Do you need some attention now? Hi. You want to come be on the podcast? You want to come be on the podcast? Hello. Oh. Oh. Hello. Hello! The little burden has come to join us. He loves this so much. Look, you came in here for attention, and I'm now giving you the attention. Anyway, so I really wanted to use my needles, my size 6s, to finish other shawls that are also on size 6s, that I wanted to change out the needles. Oh, I just love you so much. Do you want down? Do you want down? But I love you. And I love it when you're showing the podcast. People love you. Oh, do you want down? Do you want down? Okay, bye-bye. Sorry. Woo! Sorry for that interruption, distraction, whatever. I tried talking through it. That didn't work very well. What was I talking about? The needles. Yes. So I have these ChowGoos. I wanted to use them for other things, but I had them on the linen cardigan, which I knew that they would work best for the linen because their point is so sharp, and I knew that if I changed halfway through, my gauge would definitely change and it would be very noticeable, and that would not be good. So now that I'm done with a 32-inch size 6 fixed, they can go into something else. Hallelujah. I can work on something, finish something up or whatever. Or start something new. Probably not starting something new. I really need to finish stuff. So there's something about finishing test knits that doesn't necessarily feel like I'm finishing something it's something big, but it's not like a languishing lip or anything. Does that make sense? That makes it sound like it's kind of a negative thing. It's really, like, it's really amazing, which was a question that I did get. Why do I like to test knit? And should you test knit? If you have the opportunity to test knit and you really like the pattern, do not be afraid if you've never had testing experience before. Unless they're specifically requiring that you have testing experience, go for it. I mean, all you can do is try. All you can do is put your name in, and if you get a no, then you get a no. Just try again next time. I really like the... It's kind of like a mystery, but it's also not like a mystery because we know what it's gonna look like in the end. But I also like knitting something that nobody has knit before, and then also getting to go through the pattern and help the designer iron out any kinks if there are any. They're not always kinks. There's more with others, which is not a bad thing. It's just the way it's like editing a paper. Everyone has to do it. But I really enjoy testing knitting. I think it's also a good way for me to use up my stash if I'm able to. So that's good. What else do I like? Test knitting. It's a really fun way to meet other people. I've met a lot of people and now we're friends with them on Instagram and Ravelry and other places through testing groups, and it's just a really fun way to have a big knit along together. So I really enjoy that aspect of it as well. It's very cool because different designers use different platforms to communicate with each other. So some people use Facebook, some people use Instagram, some people use something called Slack, which is like a online chat room for your little group. Some people use Ravelry, some people use other things that I've never heard of before. So it just depends on, some people use Google Docs. I've also done that. I've done all those things. And so it's fun and it's a good learning experience, and it's also good. I've enjoyed it. I picked that up meaning to drink it. I'm not. It's been a good learning experience for me, I think, to like know that something is supposed to be a certain way, but knowing that that is not what is being communicated in the pattern. And I know as like a beginning knitter or someone who would not be as familiar with like sweater construction or something like that is really important in order to make the thing correctly. And so I think it's been good for me because then it also helps me just like think of other ways to help other people at the store, or just questions, knitting questions that come up of just like, well, you may be thinking of it this way, but this is really important. This should be said and discussed and known about like how raglan sleeves are set up, or how you do a slip knit here and you do a knit two together over here, or you always measure from under the arm, or unless otherwise specified, or stuff like that. Or just like if it's in the pattern, like a stitch pattern, and I know it's supposed to look a certain way and then it's not reading a certain way in the pattern, and it's like, oh, I know that this pattern is not written correctly in this one spot because I'm looking at this and I know that I've done it right. So I think that's really cool. I feel like I'm sharpening my knitting skills, basically. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm doing a good job. I also feel very proud of myself when it comes to math and the math doesn't line up and I know I've done it correctly, and I look at the pattern and the math is not correct, and I'm like, ooh, I can do some math, I know how to do that. And then I can say I caught a math error. I am not one to catch math errors, that's for sure. For someone who would try to avoid math at all costs, when I find a math error and I can fix it and give my answer or suggest an answer or suggest a change, then I feel pretty good about myself. because math is not my strong suit. It is not indeed. So those are some of the reasons why I really like to test knit, and I'm sure there are others, but I just think it's a lot of fun, and I don't think that you should be scared of doing it if you've never done it before, unless the person asks that you have testing experience previously. I say go for it. Also, when people ask if you have test for other people previously, that's not like for sure no if you've never tested it, if you don't have any experience. They're just curious if you have or if you haven't. And if you haven't, they might say yes, because you, as someone who has never test knit something, you offer another viewpoint of just kind of like you've never done that before, so you're not exactly, you don't know, you do know what you're looking for, but you also don't know what you're looking for. Does that make sense? Like, this is a whole new world for you, and so you have a different level of observance. It's a very odd way to say that, but like, I would look at something, and I've tested it a lot, but if someone who hadn't tested anything before would look at something and be like, oh, hold on, that's weird, and I might not catch that just because I've tested it so much. So, stuff like that. Everyone needs new test knitters. Go test knit. It's wonderful. It's super fun. I would highly recommend it. So, yay test knitting. Also, very quickly, on the end of test knitting, a big question that I get all the time is, it's not a big question, but it's just a question. Question that I get asked a lot is, where in the world do I find these test knits? Like, how do I know that they're going on? I would say that Instagram is the main place. I don't sign up on Instagram all the time. Some people will have Google forms. Some people will have a Ravelry forum going. Some people will have an email address. I've DM'd people before, asking if I could test knit. They weren't asking particularly for testers at the time. Some people I am friends with, so I asked if I could test knit them the pattern. Some people I had test knit before, and so I'm just in the list. I filled out forms on people's websites, but it all comes from Instagram, basically. People will post, they make a tester call, or they call for testers, and so I'll either go to their website, or I'll leave a comment, or whatever. I'll go and put my name in, and then they'll give you a time frame of when you'll hear back. Another way to do it, which I have not actually done this before, but if you are in search of like testing all the things, everything. I didn't know about this, but Julie, who also works at the Modern Skein now, she's very wonderful, and she's also doing a lot of test knits currently. She also recommended going to the hashtag test knits or testers or something like that on Instagram, and or test knitting or something like that, and there you'll find a ton of them there. So they won't necessarily be big name designers, they won't necessarily be like people who have designed a ton, but you'll get experience, and it's a good way to kind of like learn how the testing world goes. So I feel like that might be a good way to like dip your toe into the world of test knitting if you are interested in that, and then you might find you won't have to commit to test knitting a sweater, or you won't have to commit to test knitting a massive 5-color shawl or whatever, unless you want to, and that's great. But if you want to start off small with like a hat or a scarf or like fingerless mitts or something like that, or like a stuffed animal, I feel like that would be a good place to go and look. So just wanted to add that on there to the end of that little test knitting discussion, because I remembered it and wanted to suggest it because it is very good information, and Julie knows what she's talking about, so I would highly recommend going and looking. So let us move on, everybody. Where do we want to go to? I don't know. New ones, old ones. Let's go with old ones first. Okay, so this one's on top, so we'll do this one first. And of course I'm in the middle of a row because that's just what happens. I think I was working on this last night and Birdie literally came and like hopped into the middle of my lap, into the middle of my row, and I just had to stop. Because he was like, hi, pay attention to me. I was reading. Which I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna discuss later. So this is my Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion cardigan, which I realize is a mouthful. This is very unfortunate. I'm in the middle of a row. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it'll make it easier to show to you. Ta-da! I joined everything together. What? I don't think I had done this last time. This little bit is bothering me. There we go. What up? And look, I've made decent progress. This is the middle and the center here. So I'll also be having button bands. So basically this is a bottom-up set-in sleeve pattern. Sounds very complicated, Sarah, and sounds very convoluted, but it's really not. It's a lot of stitches and it's a lot of knitting. And I don't believe I've actually done a construction like this before that I can remember, but it's very easy. This pattern, like I said, is Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion by Along avec Anna. She has a lot of really very classy patterns. I want to knit all of them, but I don't have the time for that, which is very unfortunate. But I'm glad I'm knitting this one, which is good because I'm definitely working on this one. This is a Languishing Whip, which I would like to get this done for the month of April. I'm trying really hard. This is, what else do I want to say? So the set and sleeve thing is basically you knit the body to the armpit, you knit the sleeve to the basic armpit area, and then you connect everything. So you knit the front stitches, then you put some on hold, and then you knit the entire sleeve, except for maybe a couple underneath that you're going to then connect down here. So you knit almost the entire sleeve onto the needle, which feels really weird, and it feels like you're knitting in the round, but it's not, and it's just kind of uncomfortable with like your cord of your needle or whatever. Then you knit the back, then you do the whole like other stitches under the arm, and then you knit that whole sleeve on, and then you knit this front, and then you're done. And then it's like 5,000 stitches. On size 3s, of course, because this is a problem because I don't have my hair down to do the little hair flippy thing, but oh well. This is bothering me though. We'll fix that. Oh, what is that? What is that? That's better. I apologize. Yes. Anyway, so that is what a bottom-up set-in sleeve construction, how you do that. Then you also continue on doing the pattern that you've been doing. So I'm continuing to do this like flower pattern, stitch pattern on the body. Thankfully the sleeves are still plain. But it does create a very satisfying line of decreases. How beautiful is that? And then this is the other side. So I just do this until the end of time, basically. Oh my goodness, are the stitches falling off? Ah, so close, but no. Okay. So yes, I'm doing this till the end of time, basically, and so I'm just, what is this? Go away. Don't want you here right now. So, I'm probably like around here-ish, I think. So I'm still decreasing on either side. Very technical terms, and excuse me, I just very unfortunately got the hiccups then, so that had to be fixed. So here, and I'm decreasing on either side, and then I'll end up on the neck, and then I'll do the button bands, I believe, and then I'll think I end with the button band, or like the band up at the top, and then I pick up the button bands. I'm very close. It's the 22nd of April. I don't know if I can do it in time, but I want to think positively, but I also don't want to be like, I'm gonna do it, and then I don't, and then I get really sad. Which is a nice segue into my next project, which is another very old languishing whip. This one is more likely to get done. Actually, both of these are, but I've only been working on one of them. I don't need to show those. What is this? This can just go back in here. Okay. So, this is my socket cowl. I showed it to you guys last week as a languishing whip. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of ribbing done. It's not as much as here, but it's still quite a lot, because some of this was done while walking around, so I'm pretty proud of that. About this much left on this sock blank, which is from Stranded Dye Works. I don't remember what this colorway is, but she's no longer doing sock blanks anyway, so it might be street art. I could be wrong. I'm very sorry. I don't think the other ones are. One of them is flamingo legs, I do know that. Maybe the other one's street art. This one's something. It might have been like a gloss, like a party disco something. I'm very sorry. I really love it. This could potentially be a languishing whip for April. I cast this on for our honeymoon, which was 2 years ago. So it's definitely more than 6 months. I'm very happy with it. I think it'll be fun to wear. I do plan on blocking it quite aggressively just because it is knit out of a sock blank, which means like the yarn is like curly because you're knitting from something that's already been knitted and has been knit for a long time. So my stitches are very, very wonky, which is normal. Not worried by that. This down here is kind of calmed down a lot since I got in my iced coffee. Why do I do this? Oh, it's not wet. That's okay. Okay. Crisis averted. Again. I need to put a lid on that or something like that. I don't know. So since this has been like knit for 2 years, it's kind of calmed down. It's not as crazy as this up here. So yes. But I think it'll be fun. I will enjoy wearing it. I think it'll be a fun thing to wear with like a very neutral looking outfit, or like jeans and a black shirt and then like throw this on or something like that. I think that would be very cute. So yeah, I hope to make it through the rest of the ribbing relatively-ish and then cast off, because no one is gonna count if my ribbing ends are equal. And if they do, I can tell them to buzz off, because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Also, if I'm wearing it, then people really can't count how many rows of ribbing I had on either side, and if they're equal. I don't even think I counted on this side, so I don't even know. Might be still not quite halfway. I don't think. Oh well, that's okay. I'll work on this later. Anyway, so I've made really good progress with this, I do believe. I think that's fair. Seeing as last week I didn't have any of this, and I also have so many other knitted items to show you and have made progress on. So I think I did good. I did very good. Another thing, this, I didn't work on this at all, but I meant to. It didn't happen. Did I say these were 9s? Yeah, they are 9s. Okay, yeah. I can make that work. Because I do, in fact, have those chow tips, so I can switch those over to some nice, sharp chow. That'll be amazing. So this is kind of my, I'm going to go sit with people, we're going out to dinner to chat with other friends, we're going out with friends, we're going to the Easter picnic with my church, I'm gonna go walk around a museum exhibit, stuff like that. This is my project. It will get done. It will get done. So that's my second languishing whip, along with this one. Doing good. Happy with my progress. So, side note, we'll just talk about it here because, yay. I've been working on 2 projects really while reading, and now my sleeves for the Ochre Cardigan are ready to go. I need to work on those. But specifically for the Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion, I have been reading this book that I read when I was in high school, and I remember enjoying it quite a lot, and I know it's quite popular. It's not necessarily the most well-written book in the entire world, but it was very enjoyable, and I do like a good fantasy book. So the book is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. It is a 4-book series. I remember when they came out. It was quite exciting, and I loved them all. I don't think I actually finished the last one because it got really complicated and I was busy doing school. So there's that. But that's okay. I mean, at the time I wasn't really interested in the storyline at that point, and it was just like, this is too much. Too much. Enough is enough. So I've started over. I have been enjoying reading the first one, Eragon, on my Kindle and knitting on my size 3s. I've been working on some other stuff while reading too that I'm about to show you. So I've been enjoying that. Like I said, it's not the most brilliantly written thing in the entire world, and in fact there's a little too many descriptive words. There is such a thing. I don't think I could do better, but there are quite a lot of descriptors, which makes it kind of funny. Even though it's supposed to be serious, it does add some humor to it. In my mind, it makes me chuckle. Anyway, so I've been working on this or reading that and working on Mademoiselle Dandelion. Lady Dandelion, as I should just start calling it, because that's what I've been calling it. And also my Zweig. Look at that progress, everybody! I've finished this little color work section. I've got a couple rows of stripes, and then I am ready to go. I'm very excited. We're going to go see Shazam tomorrow because Tuesdays are cheap movie ticket night, and also this movie theater that we're going to has like half-off sliders, so yay, taking advantage of all the deals. But I don't know what knitting to bring. I just don't know, because I'm in a good place with several things, and I just don't know which one to pick. I don't know. I have to think about that. So that's one of my things to decide tonight and tomorrow. But yes, this is my Zweig. I'm loving it quite a lot. I think it is beautiful. My yarns, the brown is Malabrigo in the Cordovan color, and this beautiful one is from Madeline Tosh's. It's their sock in the Marfa colorway. And I just think the two of them together is stunning. So I'm very excited about this. I have really enjoyed working on this, and I was also proud of myself to do 2x2 color work while reading. Granted, it was very easy, and I didn't read as fast as I normally do, nor was I knitting as fast as I normally do, but I was able to do both at the same time, and I was happy and proud of myself. So we learn something new every day. I think after this and I do these little stripies, I then measure to see if the yoke is big enough, and then I divide for the sleeves. I'm not doing the cable stitch stitch pattern. Words, technical words, I know these words. On the body or the sleeve, so that should be straight knitting. So that's one of the reasons why I am considering this for my movie project. I also have quite a bit of the Marfa left over, which I'm very excited about because I just truly, truly love this color. It is gorgeous, and I can potentially put it in other things. So it's not like a full skein, and it's probably not even half a skein, but it's still quite a lot, so that's exciting. That's living in my French field bag. It's living in its happy home. So that's another knitting and reading item. Super excited. We have come to our last item, everyone. This is living in my The Modern Skein bag, which we have, if you would like to come and get one. I don't remember how much they are off the top of my head, but we do have them. I'm glad that that pattern there did not have any important information on it, because that would have been really bad. Last week I discussed the very big travesty of my Sultana crop by Caitlin Hunter, how excited I was about it. We went stash diving together. It was quite a bonding experience. Thank you for being there for that. That was several weeks ago. And last week, was not happy with my colors, and the red and the yellow just didn't go together, and it looked not good. It was not sparking joy. So I ripped a lot of it out, most of it out, and I did in fact come add this pink that I pulled last week, and I am really loving it. I'm not quite back to where I was, but I'm getting there. This is my, like, I'm tired of working on size 3 needles, and I really just want something fun, usually when we're watching Frasier and laughing our heads off. So I've been very much enjoying this. It's a very like pleasant and exciting knit experience. It's very an easy pattern to follow. I think I'll really like wearing it. I am planning on lengthening it just a little bit, just because of where my waist is, and it doesn't line up quite exactly with the original pattern, which that's fine. I'm not going to lengthen it drastically. It's just going to be like an extra repeat or something, just because I want it to hit there, which you can't see, but there, instead of like up here. So yay for making things the way that you want them so that you will wear them more, which I think is very important. So that is my last thing that I've been working on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been working on. There are things I want to work on, but I'm really like trying to hold myself back. Like this whole granny square thing, like it's still on my mind, people. It's still quite a large thing that I want to do. I have several shawls that I want to cast on. I also, sorry, there was a moment of silence. I was just thinking about nothing in particular. I've been knitting sweaters non-stop since January, pretty much. Which there's nothing wrong with that, and I really enjoy the sweaters. But I was thinking last night that I'm a little worn out of sweaters. Unless I already have yarn for them, I'm like, part of me is like, no more sweaters. I need to take a break. No more. Hold off. I say that, and tomorrow I'll probably be like, yay, sweaters. I love sweaters. But currently, I'm like, okay, let's put the sweaters on hold. You've already knit a lot this year. You have more that you need to finish. You got a lot of yarn for sweaters already. Let's just work on shawls right now and other items. So that is what I plan on doing. Whether that actually happens, I don't know. We'll see. So, yes. Maybe I'm just looking for like smaller projects that go faster, and I'm not like super excited about committing to an entire sweater. I just need to take a break. It's okay. It's normal. It's a healthy thing. Just taking a break from sweaters for a while. That's fine. Unless I already have yarn for it. And unless it like really, really makes me happy. Coming up with reasons, loopholes for me to have if I need them. So, I don't know. What do you think? Have you been knitting on like one particular item a lot this year that you're just like, wow, that's a lot of blank. That's a lot of blankets. Wow, that would be a lot. That's a lot of baby items. That's a lot of hats. I'm done. Time to take a break. Yes. I feel like at this moment, in this current moment that I'm recording this, when I think of knitting a sweater that is not currently, that I don't have planned, like the idea, and that I don't already have yarn coming for it, because I have yarn coming for the test knit, which is super exciting. Like the idea of doing the research for more sweaters is just like, wow, that's a lot of work. Which I feel like if I'm that way, it's signing to take a break. Because usually that makes me very excited, but now I'm just kind of like, wow, okay, let's just work on the things that I have right now. That's great. That's great. I'm rambling now. So that is all the knitting that I have. I did have quite a bit this week. I'm very proud of myself. I powered through when I wanted to like take a break. But I powered through and I got it done and it was awesome. Moving forward. No problem with deadlines. Feeling really super great about that. Lots of fun things coming up. Very fun indeed. Talked about my book. For our church had like an Easter picnic at someone's house, and there was brisket. It was amazing. And I made some brownies that were the recipes from a family friend, but like we've made these brownies like since I can ever remember. Like I've never not known of these brownies, and so they are my favorite. They are my absolute favorite. It's a German chocolate cake with caramel and chocolate chips and some other stuff. And so you have the German chocolate cake, and then you got the chocolate chips, caramel, German chocolate cake. So good. So I made some for the picnic, and they were all eaten pretty much. And so I'm going to make more today because I just love them so much. I also have chicken pot pie in the crock pot going, so the apartment smells amazing right now. It's quite wonderful. You do all the chicken stuff and for a long time in the crock pot, and then you add frozen biscuits and the frozen veggies, and everything puffs up, so it looks like chicken pot pie or chicken and dumplings or whatever you want to call it. And there's a little bug on the wall. Oh, that's great. Fun times. Anyway, so that is what is going on baking, cooking wise. Talked about my books. Can't think of anything else to discuss, really. Anything that is just very pressing and that needs to be shared. So, I guess with that, if you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, you can go follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. That would be awesome. If you are interested in any of the things that I've talked about, or if you are interested in checking out the test knitting hashtag on Instagram, I will try and link that in the show notes. So if you just want to go and click and go, it should pop up in your browser, whether you're on a phone or a tablet or a computer or whatever. So you can go so you can go check out the Test Knitting World. Also, yarn store information, all that will be everywhere. Anything else? The bug is now gone. That's concerning. Probably should go take care of this bug situation. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful weekend if you celebrated Easter. I hope it was very wonderful with friends and family and good food. We had a blast. It was so much fun. Lots of good fellowship, good friends, good food, good knitting. It was great. If you have crafty plans this coming week, I hope that they are successful. I hope to continue to make progress with everything. Get closer to finishing my Lady Dandelion cardigan. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Maybe finishing my Ochre cardigan, depending on how fast the sleeves go. Hopefully not running out of yarn. Oh well, we'll see how that goes. We'll have a follow-up next week, shall we? Come back here and we'll see how my sleeves, my yarn chicken is gonna go with this. I will also try very hard not to start this granny square blanket like I really want to. I'm trying to hold back. Maybe that will be a big thing if I finish a lot of things. I'm not gonna finish a lot of things in the month of April. April's almost over! How is it the 22nd already? It was just April Fool's Day, like, last week, wasn't it? How was it already the 22nd? People. It's crazy. Crazy! So yes, trying to refrain certain knitting things, trying to continue moving forward with other knitting things, going to take breaks from sweaters. Unless I already have the yarn, or it really makes me happy, or already have yarn coming. Unless all of those things, gonna take a break from sweaters. I say that probably won't happen, so not fully committing to that. Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate every single one of you coming back every single week, hanging out with me, listening to me ramble and rant, even when there's nothing really to talk about, or there's too much to talk about, and then I start ranting and rambling about nothing in particular. But yes, I hope that you, if you were interested in test knitting, that you were inspired, or that you're just interested in finding out more, or trying it once, twice, and who knows, maybe by that time you'll be like, I'm test knitting all the things now! Going out and finding big names. It doesn't matter whether you test knit for a big name designer or a little name designer, everyone still needs test knitters, and you're still doing a good thing, and regardless of who they are or how many patterns they've designed or how many patterns they haven't designed yet, it's really awesome to be able to help out in that way, and help in a way that you can like use your talents and your crafting ability and just your creativity to make someone's pattern kind of come to life. And I think that's probably the main reason why I like test knitting. We come to the complete end of the episode and then it really comes out. I like to be able to do that. I like to be able to help the designers. I think that's really wonderful that I get that opportunity. So I think you should try it if you are interested. It is a lot of fun. It is quite a lot of fun. So, with that note, on that note, very positive, inspirational, go knit all the things note, I will see you guys next week. Bye.